Okay, we'll put it on recording in case anyone listens tonight. We're going to have the deadline for sweatshirts tonight. If you don't have, your kid's going to cry. So no reason to make your kid cry. Just, yeah, we'll always get a few extras, but no one has to know about that. Well, now we just recorded it. But Thursday night, 9 o'clock, the game plan is going to be pretty close to finishing. Maybe at the CM we'll have like we'll see what happens. Let's get there. And throughout the summer we're gonna do Chazara. That's the plan. We're gonna be posting shirim, incentives to Chazar. Maybe we'll have a party in the middle. Or Wagner told me tonight. He said, "You come in and make a party with the chaver once or twice in the summer." I said, "Okay, we could."
Last year, I don't know
we
if
could
you
do it.
remember.
You could do that. Yeah. So we're trying. Listen, we innovate. We try new stuff. Meretz Hashem. So here we go.
Wait,
Lamed
you
Aleph
wanted to have,
Amid
like,
Beis.
Should do it or anything? Didn't work out.
Where's
Shushi. Where is Shushi? No, Shushi. I don't know. I'll be at to see him, he said, Amir Hashem. He sort of got to the point of Tamid that he felt he wasn't nageh. I think that's what happened. But let's go, now that the whole recording heard about it also. Let's start from no, let's just do the new Gemara. The chaver that are late, we'll have to pick it up in the Chazar. It's Kishmak Gemara. Asara Dvarim. We have a lot of Agadata. I think we might even have Agadata all the way to the end of the Mesechta. Kemat. We have one little shtickle. Lots of stories. Yeah, chaver, have some sushi, please. Okay. Asara Dvarim. Rabavi has a shtickle that when he announces the sushi, no one comes. He doesn't know the sushi people come. Yishladin. Yishladin. Yeah, Avi, it's Asara Dvarim. Let's go. Lamed Alpha Biz. Asara Dvarim. Shal Alexandris Mukdoin. That was his name. He asked 10 things to the Ziknei Hanegev. Now, who are the Ziknei Hanegev is a very interesting question, which there's not one answer. As you'll see, from the beginning of the question, it sounds like they were stam wise men. Doesn't even sound like they were Yidden. But as we go along, we're going to see. So 10 questions. Amr Lahem. Number 1. Min hashamayim la'aretz rachik. What's further from land to heavens? Oy mi mizrach lemayriv. From east to west. What is further? The distance from land to heaven or from the eastern all the way to the western part of the world? Amr lai pashit. Mi mizrach lemayriv. Why? Teda, I'll bring you a raya. Shreichama bin mizrach. The sun rises. It's not so strong. You can look at it. Mistakel. You can look at it. Chama b'mayriv at sunset. Hakol mistakelim ba. B'chama b'emser ikia. What happens when the sun is smack in the middle of the day? Ein hakol mistakelim ba. You can't look at it. So what does that prove? Because that's where the sun is, in the Shemayim, above. So clearly, the heavens.
Sun doesn't set the limit of the heaven.
Oh, okay.
Getting into these Gemaras where you have to know about.
Yeah. No. You asked a good point. And maybe that's part of the Taurus. Let's get there. But the raya of the Gemara is that we think the sun is in heaven. So when it's above, I can't look at it. Clearly, it's closer than in the eastern or western hemisphere. No. They're all equal. Say the Chachamim, they're equal. Shenemar, I'll bring you a raya from the pasuk. Shteit in Tehillim, kigvaya shamayim alaretz, like kigvaya, like the height of the heavens al haaretz over the land. Kirachayk mizrach memayrev is like the distance from east and west. So says the Gemara, it's equal. But asks the Gemara, the Kasha, vichan minayu nafish. Excuse me, it's part of the raya. Vichan minayu nafish, and if one of them was further, nichtayv. There's a little gerus over here. Loi nichtayv tervayu elahu dinafish. It should not write both, only that which is greater. Simply from the pasuk that says, like the heavens from down to earth is right to left, shows they're equal. So what's the kasha? Okay, fine. Maskim, they're equal. So why can't you look at the sun when it's in the middle of the sky? My time and I call mistaklim. Why can't you look at it? Says the Gemara, or Rabbi Yehuda, like you said. The reason is not because it's close. It's closer. It's because there's nothing concealing it. It's open. Nothing's blocking it. When the sun is rising and the sun is setting, there are things, whether it's mountains, whether it's clouds or whatnot. But says the Gemara, that is not a raya. So kasha number one, teretz number one. Kasha number two, remember, we're going to get 10. Amar lehen, Alexander Mukton asked the Zkenim, Shemayim nivra tchila oy haaretz. What came first, heaven or earth? Amar loi, the Chacham responded, Shemayim nivra tchila. What's the raya? Shenamar, Bereshis, in the beginning, bara Elokim, what? Es hashamayim v'asaretz. Okay, good, you got me. So Amar Lahem Alexander asks further, question number 3. Or nivra tchila oy chayshech. What came first, light or darkness? Amar Eloi milsa da. This matter in loy patar has no explanation. Says the Gemara, what? They should have answered simply, darkness came first. Why? The next pasuk. Oh, no, it's the next pasuk. Yeah, mamish the next pasuk. Tersev v'haaretz aisa sayu uvayu v'chayshech. That the world was dark. V'hadar, and then what does the pasuk continue? Vayomer Elokim yihi ar v'hi ar. So says the Gemara, I don't understand. When they asked what came first, heaven or earth, that they said is Bashit, first heaven and then earth. When Alexander asked, is darkness or light came first? I can't answer. Why can't you answer? It's the exact same pasuk. Answers the Gemara.
Thing where darkness is not a creation, it's the absence of light.
Yeah, okay, maybe. I don't know, I'm not a philosophical person. I hear what you're asking me. I definitely hear. Wait, with that, if darkness was an absence of light,
It was always dark.
well, that works. No, that's fine. That works with the psukim. That would be good.
That's why it wasn't.
No, that would be good.
It wasn't.
Which you're right. By the way, that's the psukim. The psukim says darkness and then came light. It's true. So, but the question is, why didn't you just answer that? Which you're saying even easier. It's pashut misvara, and maybe that's really the teretz. Says the Gemara. You know why? Savri, they thought tilma asi l'sheulei. When you start getting involved in such murky waters, maybe he's going to come to ask, mala mata, what's above the heavens? What's below the earth? Malifnim, what's inside mala achar? What's afterwards? And he felt that these questions, Acham felt, were bordering the philosophical realm. They don't want to get involved. So what's the obvious kasha? So why do you answer which came first, heaven or earth? That's the same thing. Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. The Chachamim thought, Alexander's asking a simple question. But then when he asked the second question, even the Chazu, once they saw the Kader Shal, he's asking again. Savri, they thought, Loi Nemale, we're not going to answer. Okay, the first two are the most philosophical of all. Yeah.
And it would be so bad if he asked.
Well, how are they going to answer him?
So
So what do you see? Very good. You know what you see from here? You see from here, which is a big discussion. Not everything has an answer. This is a big fight in the Welt between the scientists, rabbis, and between the old school rabbis, we'll call them. Do we prove everything? Well, why not? Prove it. What's the big deal? Get Rabbi, whatever his name is, and prove it. The Chacham are as smart. Okay, maybe this is a raya. I don't know. I didn't really look into these sugis. These are all big sugis. But there is Ramatzel Salman, his Akdama to his book on Amunah. He didn't write it when his Talmidim wrote it. A guy named Shmeltzer. He quotes a Ramban that he says he's anti the whole proving theory. Now, you have to be careful because he says he's anti the whole proving theory. But then you read the whole book and he proves. Be a side.
Talking about true.
Why? Well, that's what it is. Malach ne malacher. What's going to be before the world? That's proving God. That's what this gets into. This gets very quickly into those murky waters. No?
I don't know how to word what I'm saying, but we don't want to get. I understand. We don't want to get into the business of
Mhm.
proving.
Mhm.
So I'm not getting up there and giving a schmooze and saying.
So say something. Why didn't you
I'm
answer?
gonna ask.
Oh.
You're
Good.
gonna
Oh, I
ask.
understand. That's your question. That's your question. That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah.
So Chayra, the answer
Give
to
me
that
one
is,
answer,
oh,
doesn't ask something else.
who is asking?
Okay, fine. I
Oh,
understand.
that's the Chayra answer. Meaning, in a Chanami, when the Cheder Yingel comes along, we do not believe, as we've said so many times, we're not Christians, that we believe, you're not allowed to ask questions. What are you doing? That's true. But here, Alexander asked questions. Alexander's not a Yid, as we're going to see from the ensuing Gemaras. So they had a record with him because he was the ruler of the world. But I guess, L'chayr, that's the answer to your question, is that certain things you have to get on. But you know what? I'll be the first to admit, all these Agadata Sugyas, there's always tons and tons. Ayin in the footnotes to Art Scroll, and I was not Ayin in the footnote Art Scroll. And weiter. Says the Gemara, question number 3. Amar Lem asks Alexander, Idun Mitkari Chacham. Who is called a Chacham? Who's called wise? Amrulei, the Chacham responded, Ezel Chacham? Haraya es anoilad. You know what happens? That's a Chacham. Amr Lahem, Idun Mitkari Gibar, who's strong. Amrulei, Ezel Gibar Kovish es Yitzrai. Amr Lahem, Idun Mitkari Asher, who's wealthy. Amrulei, Ezel Asher, Samech V'chalko. Parenthetically, I don't know if I told this story. My kids one time said something about money. I said, we're super wealthy. So my older kids, 8-year-olds, and he said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? Are you not happy with what you have? There's a famous kids book called Messes of Dresses. Kiyadua. It's a good book. It's a good book. So you happy with what you have? So you're wealthy. Give out. Good. Geschmack. Fine. There were guests at my house one time. And my daughter is busy telling, so, we're really wealthy.
Yeah.
My daddy said we're super wealthy. And I'm listening. I'm like, oy vey. Luckily, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we're happy with what we have. I was like, sure. That would have been a travesty. Story into the middle. Like, yeah, rabbi's kids are walking around talking about money. Like, okay. No, my whole point was you don't talk about money. See, yeah, we're wealthy. What sheikh's money? Oh, who gives money? Sometimes, like, we're so fixated. We think we have to teach kids about money. What do you, kids have no sheikhs. What are we wealthy? We're wealthy. Sameach v'chalkai. Amr the hand next. This is a good one. How do you live? What should a person do to live? Amr lehem, yamas atzmai. Kill yourself. Mayaved anish v'yamas. What should you do to die? Yichyas atzmai. Live, make yourself alive. So what does this mean? So there's many pshatim over here, but the Mefarish on the page says, what do you do to live? Yamas es atzmai. Says the Mefarish, make yourself low, not about gaiva. What do you do to live? Raise. What do you do to live? Excuse me, I said it backwards. Yamas atzmai. He has a different girsa. And what do you do to live? Kill yourself. What does that mean? Get a job. Get a job. It's an interesting way of learning. Interesting way of learning. What do you do to die? Live, meaning live up in this world. Spend all your money. Then you're gonna die. It's interesting. It sounds backwards, but l'chayra, there's a lot of chachma into that. You want to live a good life? Then kill yourself. Work hard. Have a good job. Learn Torah. You feel like you're killing yourself, but you're gonna be the happiest man. You're gonna be yechia. Well, you want to do something to die? Yeah, go live life, go party, go vacation, or what happens? Yeah, depression, cult of, and usually it actually ends with death, but that's a different truth. Amrlan, my avidin kabbalah briyasai. What should a person do to be accepted amongst people? Amru, they responded, Yisnu Malku. Hate the government, Vishaltain. Hate the king and the government. Amr lo, oh, now you got to be careful. Alexander was Amr lo didi tavamidizchu. So Alexander, this one I know better than you. Why? Yirache Malku Vishaltain. Don't hate the government. Have rachmanis on the government. And then the government will treat your family well. Okay. Interesting debate. Amr Lahem, Alexander asks further. Biyama on the sea, Ya'i. Ya'i is a lashon of Hana in Aramaic. Ya'i lemedar. Is it greater to live at sea? Oy biyabeshta. Or dry land. What's better to live on? So answer the Chamim. Ya'i lemedar. Excuse me, Oy biyabeshta lemedar. Amrullah, they responded, biyabeshta lemedar. It's better to live on dry land. Why? Simple raya. The cold nechute yama, all sea people Loi meisvan daitayu, they don't have any yishav adas adasokili abeshta, till they come to dry land, which really means no one lives at sea forever. Even though these crazy people, they're there for 6 months, but eventually they come back to land, because the land is what gives you yishav adas, so it's better to live on land. Amr lahan, Eidon minchoin chacham. Eidon minchon chacham, what does this mean? I don't remember. 1 second. Yeah. Eidon minchon chacham, which one of you is the smartest? Yati, Eidon minchon chacham, yatir. Yatir means more. Who is the more smartest? Who's the smartest one? They asked the chacham. Amrulai, good politicians. Kulana kechadesh avyan. We're all equal. Ta'kal milsa da'amrilana. I'll bring you a raya. You asked us 10 kashas, right? B'chad b'tarnalach. We answered you all in unison. Amrlan. So now Alexander asks, Man din aturislon lekabli. Why lamaisa do you not accept my government? Amrulei, they responded, Sitna netzach. Because of our aveiros netzach, the government has taken us over. Amrlehem. It says Alexander, what do you mean? The government took you over? I'm the government. I can kill you. Amrulei, they said, Shultan biad malka. Your power is in the hands of the king. Malka kazav. It's not good for the king to lie. Meaning, if you're just going to randomly kill us, how's that going to look? All of a sudden, one day, disappeared, the Ziknei Anegev. So the Chachamim chapped Alexander and said, yeah, kill us. You're going to look pretty bad. Meaning, don't kill us. So what happens? Miyad, Alexander says, Gishmak. Albish Yasain, he dressed them in Levushan Argovon, purple wool, Vishadi Minichai Didaval Savrein, and he put gold necklaces on their neck. And that's the end of what we'll call part A. 10 kashas, 10 answers, followed by the Chachamim chapping Alexander and proving to him, hey, you can't kill us and look bad upon you. So now Alexander says, you guys are pretty smart. I have one request. Amr lahan be'ina da'azal medinas. I want to go to the country of Africa. I want to go to Africa. Amruleh, the Chachamim said, Loi matzis azlas. You're not going to be able to go there. Why? Tepaski hare chayshech. The mountains of darkness stop you. You can't go to Africa. Amruleh, Alexander said, no, you don't understand. I didn't ask you if I should go. I didn't ask you if I should go. It's not that I'm not going to go. It's not what I asked you. What should I do? Meaning, I'm going to Africa, guys. Give me advice how to get there. So Amruleh, so said the Chacham, okay, so I see Chamra Luvai. Bring Lubinian donkeys, very strong donkeys. The Parshi Bahavra. Va'isi the Parshi Bahavra that travel at night. Va'isi kiburi demasni. Now bring strings of masni, of flax. V'koter b'hagisa, and tie to this side. Before you go into the mountains of darkness, tie the string around a tree or something. Hold on to the end of the string. Tchiasis naktis b'gavayu v'asis, that you'll be able to come back. You'll have a rope, right? You'll go all the way in, and then you'll travel the rope back. So Alexander listened, and he did this. So he got his Lubinian donkeys, the strongest Shemaka donkeys, and he has his rope tied around Va'azul, and he goes, Mata lahu mechuza. So he gets to Africa, and there's a very special city in Africa. And the city is Tekulu Nashi, only woman. So he wanted to, machaimish. Amrulei, they said to him, listen, Alexander, if you kill us, what are they going to say? Oh, shkoyach, Alexander, you could take on a bunch of women. Yamrulei, Yamru, nashi katel. You killed women. Well, you're going to fight with us? What happens if we're going to kill you? What are they going to say? Yamru. Malka de Katlu Nashi. the king that got killed by a woman. So Alexander, time number 2, gets bested by his, adversaries over here. So Amr Lahen, so says Alexander, I silly nama. Okay, good, no battle. Put down the weapons. Let's eat. Bring me some bread. Aisule, what do they bring him? Nahama didahava. Golden bread. Apatura didava. On a table of gold. Okay. Amr Lahu, says Alexander. Mi akli inshi nama didava. Do people eat golden bread? What's going on over here? Amrulay, they said, Ella inama boys. Alexander, you wanted a loaf of bread? What, you don't have bread back home? You came all the way here to Africa to have a little bit of bread? Obviously not. So you know what? So that's why we're giving you golden bread. Kinafak and Alexander Nachamal, time number 3, gets owned by the adversaries. Kinafik Vasi, as Alexander was leaving, Kasev Ababa de Mechuza, come have some sushi while you wait for Ma'ariv. It's free, 3 minutes. I mean, hopefully, if another few people show up, but it's 3 minutes. That's never seen that. Is that like a chesky chiddush? So it's in the dose? Fascinating. Sushi's good. Please, indulge. So what happens? They give him the golden bread. They give him the golden table. He says, what's going on? They said, Alexander, you clearly didn't come for bread. So enjoy the gold. He takes it. When he's leaving, he writes at the gates of the city, Alexander Muktin. Alexander Muktin. Havisa Shatya. I was a shaita, I was a fool. Adasiti Medina Afriki Dinashaya, till I came to the city of Africa of women. V'yalfis Eitza Minashaya. And I took advice from the woman, meaning they beat me. Kishakal Vasi. As Alexander is going, Yosef Ahu Mayone Kochel Namba. He sits down by a stream to eat some bread. Have a biyade goldane de milcha. So what does every good Haimish Yid, Haimish guy bring with him to travel? Some herring. Goldana de malcha, some salted fish. So Alexander sits down to have some salted fish at the stream. Badi de machvrile, nofel bu recha. So the machlik is what this means. Either it means a little bit of the water went on the fish, or it meant that the scent went on the fish and it came alive. The fish comes back alive. Omar, says Alexander, this is in a Stam river. Hayeno, Shmam, Hayeno, this fountain. Mi Gan Eden, I'll see. The fountain must come from Gan Eden, has life restoring powers. So now, what happens? So Ikati Amri, some say Shakamanu Maya Tarabape. He took some of the water and he put it in his face. Ikati Amri, some say Edalie Kule Ademoti Lepischa Gan Eden. That he traveled, he followed the stream till he got to the opening of Gan Eden. Rama Kala, he opened his mouth, he raised his voice. Paschuli Bava, open up for me. Amrule, they said, Alexander. Zashar Hashem, this is God's gate. Amrule Hoin, Ana Nami Malkana. I am also a king. Mechashviv Chashvina Havuli Midi. Give me something. He demands from Gan Eden, I want something. So what do they give him? Yavule Gilgolta Chada. He gives him an eyeball, the orb of an eye. I see Takle Lekule Dava. Alexander takes all his gold, Vikasva, and all his silver dide of his own. Bahadei, on one side of the scale, Lo Yahave Mitkali, and it can't win. The eye weighs down all silver and gold. Amr Lahain the Rabbanon. So Alexander is obviously back home at this point. He turns to the rabbis and he says, hi, what in the world is going on over here? Amr, they said, Golgelta de Ina de Bisr Vidama. The eye that you got is the eye of a human being. Deloi Kasava. That material items can never satiate the eye. So the eye will forever be weighed down. Amr Lahu, Mimai Dahachihu. How do you know? So Chum said, I'll tell you how. Shakali Kilil Afra. Take a little bit of dirt. v'kaske, and cover over the eye. What happened? La'alter takla. Right away, the other side wins out. So we see that it's the eye. We want everything. But lamaisa, you can never be satiated by materialistic pursuits. Some say that Gehenim is where above the heavens. Some say it's behind these mountains of darkness. Now we end off the parak on a little bit of a random, a little bit of a geshmak note. Taner Rav Chira Koloisik B'Atar Balayla Shechina Kenegdoi. Shtam Kumir Balayla Rosh Hashmayr Shevchik Kamayim Libech Nachnei Hashem. Amar Rosh Nazaria Tamid Chachamim Mar Shalom Ba'Elam Shem V'Chomayel Shem Rav Shalom B'Nayach. Now this is a fascinating ending. This is the ending of Gemara and Brachis. It's the ending of Gemara and Nida, and it's randomly shtupped over here as the ending of the fourth parak in Tamid. Many pshatim. What in the world it's doing over here? But that was of the more Geshmak stories. It's a shame that the Oila missed it. Hopefully they'll chop the video or the Chazara. And Shkoyach Rabavi, let's get sweatshirts.